Merry Christmas Eve, and what a beautiful day it's been. It's one of those wrap your Christmas presents while enjoying the outdoors kind of day. Hardly feels like December here in Colorado. And that's not really helping our chances for a white Christmas. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Mark Salinger. I want to bring in Carl Lamb. You're joining us, filling in for the holidays. And Carl, it's great to have you here. We've worked together before. For everyone wanting to wake up to some snow this Christmas morning, though, you don't exactly come bearing good news.
No, well, it's just so warm out there that any snow that would fall just would not really stick at this point. But we're taking a look at Denver right now, and temperatures, when you look at this, it's 50 degrees right now out at DIA. And so again, this is going to be the trend as we go through the next couple of days too. It's just far too warm as we go into the afternoon. So it's 48 in Lyman, 50 at DIA again, 50 in Greeley. High country again, you're still dealing with some milder temperatures for this time of year, shall we say. 36 in Kremling and 45 in Salida. So all in all, it's a warm day out there, and any precipitation that does come our way is really going to be kind of broken up by some of this warmth too. So hour by hour tonight, we'll have temperatures cooling down gradually as we go down into the 40s and then into the upper 30s by tonight. But all in all, it's not even all that cold. Again, as Mark was saying, it doesn't really feel like December. It kind of feels more like October at this point. So we get the all clear for Santa tonight. He's going to have no problem delivering presents to everybody around Denver tonight because the weather is really fair for him. And then a wet Christmas. We could have some rain and wet snow possible, but in terms of any accumulation, we're really not optimistic about that, especially around the urban corridor, and that it's staying mild as we go into the weekend, where temperatures have a run at the even upper 50s and even the low 60s. We'll show you that coming up in the 7-day forecast in just a little bit. Mark, back to you.
Carl, thank you. One of the busiest rescue groups in the country is seeing an even busier winter. Just last week, Rocky Mountain Rescue Group recovered 2 people who were found dead in the Flatirons. Now News reporter Ria Jha hit the trails today and spoke with professionals about how to stay safe out there. Hey, Ria.
Hi, Mark. Yeah, earlier today there were tons of families out here, and even now we're still seeing a bunch of families file in. As Carl just said, it was a great warm day, and Rocky Mountain Rescue Group said this unseasonable warm weather is the reason why they're seeing more rescues and recoveries this time of year. The Boulder trails were merry and bright.
Love the outfit.
Thank you, thank you. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas.
Filled with hikers like Corey Beard.
Yep, somebody has to be in the Christmas spirit. All right, I'm digging it, I'm digging it.
He pulls out this outfit every Christmas Eve.
It's supposed to be all snowy out here, so.
But this year, the warm weather brought an even bigger crowd to share the holiday cheer.
A lot more this year.
It's been a common theme this winter. Drew Hildner with the Rocky Mountain Rescue Group said they've noticed.
But generally, when we have milder winters, people are still going to get out into the foothills a little bit more frequently. And so generally we do see our rescue group sees more technical rescues on more mild winters like this one.
Warm days don't always mean warm nights.
Again, kind of the dark, the cold adds an increased element of risk to our recovery operations or rescue operations this time of year. Over 40% of our rescues are hikers that have just had a bad day.
No matter what you're wearing, like Corey, you can always be prepared.
Merry Christmas, right?
Rocky Mountain Rescue Group said to hike with others if you can, or make sure you tell other people about your plan. They also said to plan as if you are going to be in the cold and dark, so that means extra layers, a flashlight, and even just wearing the proper gear. Reporting live in Boulder, Ria Jha, 9 News.
It was the perfect day to get out. I hiked Green Mountain this morning. Ria, thank you. American Airlines flights are back in the air, I should say, after a technical issue grounded planes this morning. A rough day for that to happen with the holiday rush in full swing. The FAA says American requested a ground stop around 5 a.m. for all of its flights across the country. It was lifted an hour later, luckily. The delays weren't too bad at DIA. The worst were at Dallas-Fort Worth. This is the first holiday season since a new rule took effect requiring airlines to give customers an automatic cash refund for a canceled or significant delayed flight. In some cases, though, travelers still have to request those refunds. The FBI is offering a $10,000 reward for help finding a man suspected of killing a young boy on a tribal reservation in southwest Colorado. Agents are searching for 23-year-old Jeremiah Height in connection with the December 11th shooting on the Ute Mountain Reservation. It left a 7-year-old dead. Investigators have not said what led up to the shooting, only that it was targeted at a home. The FBI says that person faces a number of charges, including murder. Well, you don't hear about mercury spills too often. Poudre Fire Authority says a hazmat crew cleaned up a mercury spill at a driveway in Fort Collins yesterday. Yeah, mercury. Who has that at their house? Someone was cleaning out a family member's garage and broke a glass vial of mercury. It spilled down the driveway, and of course they called 911. So while mercury is usually harmless to the touch, it's dangerous to breathe in. Exposure can cause memory loss and other issues. Poudre Fire says it took over 3 hours and 4 mercury spill kits to clear the area. They think the vial of mercury was decades old, likely from the 60s or 70s. A Starbucks barista strike is expanding to around 5,000 workers at more than 300 stores in 45 states, and that now includes Colorado. Still, though, that's only about 3% of all U.S. Starbucks locations. The strike from 2 unions is hoping to draw attention to claims of unfair labor practices and stalled negotiations over a contract covering thousands of workers. Employees want an immediate increase in Starbucks minimum wage by as much as 64%. Starbucks calls the demands, quote, not sustainable, and it's touting the overall benefits package that workers can receive. Back here in Colorado, the minimum wage in the Denver metro area is getting a bump when the new year arrives. For non-tipped workers, Edgewater's minimum wage is increasing about $1.50 to $16.52 an hour. In Denver, minimum wage is increasing 50 cents to $18.81 an hour. And in unincorporated Boulder County, the minimum wage there is increasing about 88 cents to $16.57. State lawmakers passed a law in 2019 that allows local governments to set their own minimum wage. A little different for tipped workers, though. Right now, Edgewater, for example, tipped workers make $12 an hour, and then you add in tips, it goes up. When the minimum wage goes up, they'll now make $13.50. Former President Bill Clinton is out of the hospital today. He was discharged after being treated for the flu. Clinton's deputy chief of staff says Clinton received exceptional care at Georgetown University Hospital after developing a fever. Clinton is 78 years old. Well, of course, Christmas is tomorrow, and many of us are already preparing our holiday meal in the kitchen, working so that everybody can enjoy it tomorrow. So is the Salvation Army, who's planning to feed 1,500 Coloradans throughout the day today. Staff and volunteers started cooking at midnight to get the feast ready. Then the meals were distributed across the Denver metro area.
When you meet the need of a human being, when you give them hope and dignity, and you allow them to feel a sense of self-worth, I mean, that's a feeling and experience that no one else can ever put into any material commodity. There's nothing that measures up to that.
Talk about feeling good. Helping others also makes you feel good. The Salvation Army is always looking for more volunteers. You can also donate to the nonprofit this holiday season wherever you see a bell ringer outside. Well, speaking of good food, a bakery in Parker is now considered one of the best in the country, and they've got a new accolade to prove it. The New York Times included Paulette Bake Shop in its list of 22 best bakeries around the U.S. today. Married chefs Alan Ramos and Carolyn Nugent opened it up in 2021 after working in restaurants across the world. The article from the New York Times calls it a destination for world-class French pastry. That looks good.